Hey everyone, we're back. Episode 3.
We're back! We made it!
Yep, and we have a fun one coming up. Combat almost immediately, but before we get started, I want to go around just after the punch. Go ahead, go around, introduce who you are, who you're playing, and where can we find you. Let's just do this at the top, and maybe we can just repeat ourselves. I am Don. I will be the GM and the plant monster that is about to choke the life out of the players. When I'm not doing this, I'm also the GM for the Hex Grid Heroes Homebrew Starfinder podcast. And I'm no longer nervous to do this.
Hey. Well, that makes one of us.
Excellent.
Yes. So I'm just going to continue how I do, just in order. So Pan, how about you next?
Hi, I'm Pan. I play Galatea on the show. And when I'm not doing that, I'm on other shows. I'm on Cosmopunk, on Spectre Fog, and Morning Blues. And I'm not nervous either because I'm hopped up on coffee, like a lot of it.
Nice.
So,
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Jeff?
Hey, I'm Jeff McAllen. I play Tomo, the N2 Colony Solarian here. But you can also find me at EPN_Jeff on Twitter. You can also find the podcast that Adam and I do together, which is Emergency Power Podcasts. And that's at Emergency PWR Pod or emergencypowerpodcast.net.
Cool. Next.
.com. Not .net.
I think it's you, Carrie.
There.
Oh, it's .com?
.com.
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm playing Rora, the Urog Nanocyte, and I can be found at criticalhitcookies.com or at hitcookies on Twitter.
And I am Adam Damus. I play Sifrix Varfalis, also known as Hull. You can find me, like Jeff said earlier, on the Emergency Power Podcast. I am the GM, the Galactic Manager. You could also find me at the Ashen Arts on Instagram. I'm an artist, and I'm trying to start some stuff up, so check it out. See if you like it. Follow me if you feel so inclined. Links below me.
Yep, there will be links. Adam took it upon himself to do a lot of art for the show. Actually, I'm super appreciative. As the NPCs show up, I'll give the proper credit, of course, but super excited for some of the most recent art I was given, and hopefully we can meet them today. But before
that is if we don't get TPK'd by this plant monster.
Yes,
one of that plant.
I can do it. And it's a good thing we brought so many settlers. You each can just play one, and like by the end of the campaign,
nice.
The settlement will just be the last four.
With them down.
Choose. Yeah, this is like kickball. The last people not chosen. So, if you are enjoying the stream right now, especially the music playing, we have upgraded our art stuff. Currently playing. This is Hinkick by. Oops.
Hinkick's the
All the
artist.
way around.
Explorers Geometry 2.2 by Hinkick. You can find them on SoundCloud. We will be dropping links to all that. But very happy. Thank you, Jeff, for finding this. It's great. I'm amped up. I feel like I too have had too much caffeine. Yeah.
So you both went caffeine. I went with something a little harder.
Double caffeine?
No, so
I'm designated driver here.
I finally brewed a batch of cider this year. This is the only batch that I brewed this year,
Very nice.
and it's pretty good.
How much of it is gone? How
A
far
lot.
are you? Because I've been on video call with you a couple times since the last game, and I think every one you've held up the glass. I'm like, that's.
I brew it in
Jeff is always
5-gallon
drinking.
batches.
This campaign's turning into an intervention. Pans,
Yeah,
caffeine.
Jeff hasn't had water. Like he hasn't had water in years. So if we could stop that for him now, that'd be great.
So, getting into the game, last time you all smashed your way through that colony of mole beetles.
Beatles.
Yep, Needles. Name pending. And that was all well and good. You all handle it fine. I didn't have to bring in any of the NPCs to help, which the book tells me I could have. But you handle it just fine. You all got to show off a nice smattering of your abilities. It was real cool watching all the bugs, disgusting.
Oh yeah, throwing up their insides and then slurping it back up.
I wouldn't know. I stayed way back from that.
Yes. And then you kind of took a little stroll. The settlement being built up on Waydana 4, it kind of sets itself up. It's a lot of automated processes going on with these prefabricated structures. So the four of you took a little stroll at the site where you've chosen. You chose the lakefront property.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Took a little walk down by the beach where you found some strange migratory birds with small tusks. Then we
ate them.
Some of us ate them.
Yeah.
We had a few good minutes talking about naming conventions. So we can get to that in a minute after this current situation, but you talked about the migratory birds. You discovered like this spot is great for food, access to water. There's fish in the water. Some of you took a dip. Some of you pissed off the local food procurement specialists, the farmers and fishers and hunters of your.
They hate being called farmers.
They hate it. Food procurement specialists. And I gotta respect that a little bit. So yeah, you walked around for a bit, hung out. As the sun set on the planet for the first time with you on it, you received emergency messages from two places in the settlement. One from the grain silo, the storage silo for your food, which is currently empty, but there were some emergency mishaps going on there. They needed you immediately.
We leave for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. At this very same time, conveniently enough, you had a message from the lead electrician of the settlement that there was some catastrophic failure at the power station. You chose to tackle the power station first, so you all zipped over there and found. I need to get on the Foundry and show some art of who you found. Gavin Neldenner, lead electrician, dwarven electrician.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pulling up the artwork. But you get there, it's dark at this point. Wow. Just had a catastrophic failure on my computer for a second.
No, please.
Let's pass on that.
Yeah, no. You see this fella laying face down in a mess of wires. This area is where the starship that took you to this planet, its reactor is kind of your impromptu power source for the entire settlement until you spend some time and resources to create a settlement. And I'm going to turn off that music for just a minute so I can talk some more. But this fella is laying down in some wires, clearly unconscious. We spent some time working out, both during the stream and after the stream, we talked about some tactics. But in the stream, we were able, Hull, rather, you were able to make your way along the mess of wires with help from your party members to make sure the wires...
Yeah, Gally jumped in there so it didn't kill me.
Exactly.
Yeah. I get the feeling that's going to happen a lot.
Like you wouldn't believe. So Hull, after some work, you did get his body, his unconscious but live body, back out of the way. But around that time...
I just remembered what Tomo did after that, where he like absorbed the dwarf and then like healed him.
Absorb him. I just covered.
He
him.
was
I
fully
distinctly remember
covered. It's like
a noise. Yeah, we were discussing the noise. Like,
It's like that magnetic goop that you just like stick a piece of metal in it and it's just like,
yeah, that's
yeah, except
absorption.
you get
That's absorption.
sucked into it.
and
Yeah.
then he was fine.
Air quotes.
He was fine.
I think
Better
he's
than
out
fine.
cold, right?
He was fine. Yes, he was out cold,
So he
but
can't
as
complain per se.
no, he's not capable of complaint at the moment because as Hull pulled Gavin out of the mess of wires, he felt the stinging sting of a strange branch
I hate a stinging sting.
interwoven among all the
Sting.
cables. This thing got you, and we are in combat. So
All right.
Let's do this. I'm ready to punch.
let me throw that song on. Make sure I have all.
Yeah,
my-
I need some banging battle music. Let's go.
All
Oh
right.
no, that original song was the banger. The rest of it's
Oh.
just ambience.
Calm
So,
battle music. We're going to have like a
It's like
negotiation with this
lo-fi
plant.
ASMR battle music.
Yeah. Since
Lo-fi
finding-
music you can punch to.
Yes. So since Jeff, you gave me the other person's art music rather. I'm going to be revamping. I'm still going to use for this session tabletop audio because they're already preloaded in the Foundry, but definitely going to be spicing up the music selection. So try and dig
Yes.
deep, all of you, and imagine great triumphant music is playing as a branch snakes up and slaps Hull on the back.
Woo!
We'll see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's everyone. Cool. So, top of the round, Rora, you're up.
I am going to Nanite Surge for the second time today.
Okay.
And I'm going
Let's
to
go.
Yeah.
bring forth my gear array and do a static storm dashko. So I'll bring that forth and move up. To there.
Okay. All right.
You know what makes you think of? Super nerdy, but Final Fantasy 15, where Noctis can like have swords around him.
Oh yeah.
Sure. That's awesome.
How is the music volume for all of you?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, cool. It's a
Yeah.
little low on my end, but I'm fine with it being low on my end. Okay. So is that your entire turn, Aurora? You draw
Yes.
this thing out and move? Okay. All right. Your nanites converge into a Dashko.
Sick.
Love to imagine
Next
that
up-
just like
Yeah.
forms out of nothing.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, just suddenly Dashko.
Next up is Hull. Hull, you got slapped in the back by this thing, and if I refer back, you took a little bit of damage from that.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. It missed, actually, but you still felt
okay.
it. Oh, wait, that's initiative. Let me scroll further back. Oh, yeah, a 30. I think I may have the formula wrong on that. We'll find out. Hit you for 2 points of electricity damage as it just slaps and you just feel like someone... a little bit of a cattle prod, yeah. So how do you return the favor?
Little spikes go up a little bit, and a little electricity like zaps from one to the other.
Yeah.
Hull just like is holding this unconscious guy still, looks down at the plant attacking him, and is like, and holds the dwarf up high, and he's gonna use his entropic strike, but he's not gonna do a punch this time. He's going to lift up his foot, and he's just gonna stomp down right on this thing.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 9 to hit.
Ah,
This thing just like slithers out of the way.
And you feel it too.
Come
So
on.
Your foot goes down, but as it goes down, this thing is like pressed into the cables below and it's able to slip out from your hefty foot.
I just keep stomping the same spot, thinking that it's there in the cables. Go, come on!
All right. So that is Do you want to move
actually,
at all?
yeah, for a movement action, I'm going to align my wing, shink, my shield, towards this opponent, so I get a bonus
Nice.
AC.
Cool. So, right on. That is you. That is up. Next up, we have Galley.
Cool. Guys, this is the. Oh wait, what do you press to point at stuff again?
You just hold down the left click.
Okay, this thing. That's the plant there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Then,
vines.
I'm gonna move in here. Can I get a shot from here, or is that going through hole?
Let me click back.
Let's see.
You.
It's a maybe.
Yeah, they will have partial cover.
Okay, in that case, then I'm just gonna switch over to Tomo. I'm gonna use a supercharged weapon.
Oh.
Ooh.
So what's it look like when Galley uses her magic to supercharge Tomo?
Gary using a magic looks like you're watching like a rhythm game screen, like Dance Dance Revolution or something. So to cast magic, she kind of has to dance her fingers over a constantly moving screen.
Okay.
Awesome.
I love it. So, supercharged weapon. Walk us through for those that may not know or remember.
Sure. So you supercharge the target weapon. If the weapon's next attack hits, the attack does additional 4d6 damage and 2d6 additional damage. Yeah, if it gets all creatures in the area.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
I mean,
Oh my
turning
gosh.
Tomo's Mega
I'm just
Buster
gonna
into a
dive
double
out
Mega
of the way.
Yep. Okay. So,
Sick.
did you have to move? Are you going to move any closer, or can you?
No,
do
as long as I
it
can see what's going on, I'm gonna just turn to Tomo and say,
It's gonna
"You can
be
do
over
this,
here.
Yeah. So this is probably fine, and I'm gonna cast it on Tomo.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Like
All right.
the Buster cannon that is Tomo's arm just like begins to glow with even more furious royals of electricity as this thing supercharges.
I think you also get like some like outlines from her magic, like lots of neon blues and pinks around it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And funny enough, Tomo, it's now your turn. You're just suffused with this magical empowerment.
Oh,
Don't
yes.
waste it.
Oh yes. So I believe that my weapon is in stun mode right now.
Stop stunning things.
So I'm it's a plant. I take it that I don't get any like emotional senses from this thing. So I will spend a move action to switch to lethal damage. And I'm also going to attune myself to the resistance mode of my electromagni Solarian
Nice.
order.
Okay.
So you see like these the lightning bolts around Tomo that activate as part of their stellar or not stellar attunement. They change from having like a white core to a black core, but it's still the same kind of lightning surrounding them. And now I'm gonna take a shot with an extra herpy of damage. Okay,
I'm ready.
solar
I'm ready.
flare.
Yeah, I literally do it and then like turn with my hands over my ears.
So if you're busting a solar flare, then Hull puts on his glasses so he's not blinded by it.
Oh no, that's a 12 against EAC.
Okay. Just a moment. 12 EAC is a hit.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow. Okay. Extra.
I don't know how,
4d6
but
damage there.
How much?
You said
4d6.
4d6, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's going to be 20 electricity damage.
Okay.
Woo!
Ooh.
Tomo, you what's your cannon? look like? We've talked about it last session.
It's
but
like a Mega Man Buster.
yeah.
It's like arm just forms
Yeah.
into it.
Okay. And what kind of damage does it do?
It does electricity damage.
Okay. All right.
I'll be very sad if it's immune to electricity.
Yeah.
I was worried
I just
about
been thinking
that.
it was like hanging out in the electrical stuff. It's probably immune to it.
I was
Okay.
worried about that.
How
if
much
it-
damage
Yeah.
did you
Hopefully
do?
it only has resistance.
20 electricity.
20. Okay, so you shoot this thing and you see it hit. Let me show you all what this thing looks like. This thing.
I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z explosion.
This is what you light up. This thing
Yes.
is moving around in the dark, and you hit it, and you blast apart like one of these. One of the pedals just blows up, but you see like it absorbs that energy, and the little filaments flickering around glow incredibly
no.
brighter, as it doesn't seem like it took all of that damage.
Oh.
But it seems like it took some, so that's better than nothing, guys.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's my turn.
So okay, all right. Next up, it's that Jolt Vine's turn. So this thing is the little flowy flashy fill, and they are this thing immediately drops to the ground and starts slithering to you, Tomo.
Ooh. Is it gonna slither past me?
It is going to, yes, slither past both. Well, it's only going to go to there, so I don't know if that. No, yeah, it would provoke because it's entering one and leaving.
Yup.
So yeah, this thing it's a mindless plant. I mean, without giving you a check, just giving you that for free. This mindless plant that was siphoning off energy is now going towards the thing that just pumped it full of too
Oh
much
no.
Oh no, he's gonna try to suck Tomo dry of electricity.
It's gonna take so long.
Rora, this is your Dashko is unwieldy, correct? So you don't get attacks of opportunity,
Okay.
correct? Oh, I was asking. I don't.
Oh.
I love Dashkos, but I rarely ever get around to using them, and I do believe as they're unwieldy, you don't get attacks of opportunity.
That makes sense, yeah.
Anyone in
It is
chat?
one
Oh, but
Or,
if it went past Hull, does Hull get an attack?
I'm gonna
Uh,
stomp it. I'm
Storm
gonna stomp it real good.
Yeah.
Storm Dashkos are not unwieldy.
okay, then both of you can take a crack at this.
Yes,
this
let's
plant.
go. Okay, how does a 15 KAC do ya? Yes, let's go.
I rolled a 21.
Definitely hits. Yep. So you both chop this thing.
Yeah, as it tries to go through and get to Tomo, I pick up my big foot again, and I'm gonna stomp down on it entropically for 10 damage.
You know, you've got two
Acid
hands, right?
damage.
Oh, you don't have two hands.
I am gonna
I
swing
don't
at
have two
this
hands.
and whack it for 9 damage.
Okay. So
Oof.
yeah, this thing, Tomo, this thing, like, you see all of its. I used to know plant anatomy a lot better, but the flowers all like point at you, all their little filaments glowing bright, like reaching out for you hungrily as it slides across the ground here. Hole, you stomp down on it, and as it tries to slide itself out from underneath your foot, the furthest parts out that it's reaching for are reaching for Tomo, and Rora, you slice off the lead petals. Stamen? No. I'm not going to bog down too much with plant. You slice this plant's head
Monkey bits.
right off. And it just falls slack, and like little, like as it falls down, like you just see like slight little leaks of electric discharge kind of like dribbling out of this thing.
We killed it?
And they killed it. You're out of combat.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, I just keep stomping it, not sure if it's gonna get back up. Just boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Yep. Even adjusted for your higher level, you all smash this thing and hack and slash it and blast it to pieces. And it's laying there. It's now quiet. It was kind of quiet, but the battle music fades away, and
it was playing battle music.
Yeah, the plant was playing battle music.
I destroyed the radio.
yep.
Oh, man.
Wait, it ate a music player. I've got it.
Guys, we should check out the silo if this looks okay.
Right, good idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Does it look
over
okay?
to-
Gally, can you tell? Is it fine now? Did we save the day?
We didn't fix anything. We just got the dwarf out. But I can have a look at it.
Can we radio the silo people?
Well, I was going to say, can
Sure.
I cast mending maybe just to try and get it like back up and running, or at least
Okay.
not sparking?
Sure.
I'm gonna
so,
check on Gavin.
Okay, so 3 things are happening at once. First,
I'd like to do something too. No.
Okay, what's I want to do?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Tomo, you wanted to.
I want to see if Gavin
You're
is
checking on Gavin.
coming
Yeah.
to, since I
Okay.
healed him.
Oh, then I'll bring him back down from over my head and like set him down on the ground.
Yep. What healing did you give?
I did
Give
my tactical symbiosis. When I covered him,
That's
it healed for 6 HP.
Okay. Yep. So once it started, once your ooze applied the healing, very groggily, Gavin opens eyes. They look like they just touched a live wire. Hair standing out on end.
Imagine
such
that.
as it is. Yeah. And they're like their hands are a little shaky from and he's like shaking his hands.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm much better, thanks. Oh gosh, that thing came out of nowhere. I don't know what that thing was exactly, but it's attracted to electricity. So we're gonna need to clear all this brush if we're gonna use this. I had no idea. I should have had some help setting up, but I thought I could handle it. Thank you all so much for your help.
Wait, do you think there's more of these out there?
I mean, and gestures.
I pick him back up again so he can't get attacked.
Okay, well, as you scoop him back up like the dwarven child, and you look around this map. The main structure here is the fusion the power reactor for the starship that brought you here. These other 5 points are kind of junction boxes, and you look around that against the cliff here. I'm going to raise the lighting here just so I can show you a little better. But there's foliage all along this kind of cliff face that this building is set kind of up against.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's vines, there's plant life. Looking around, give me a perception check to determine if you see any more of these unique plants.
8.
Okay. There are plants.
18.
22,
14.
18, 14.
Yeah.
Okay, 18 and 22, you look around and you see that some of the vines look like they could be similar, but they don't have that as robust of petal structure. And give me a life science check.
All of us, or just one to sort?
Anyone that has life science.
Yeah.
I don't know who all has.
19.
10.
25.
19, 25. Very good. Tomo, no?
Nope.
Okay. Those of you got above a 15. These things are plants, obviously, and my PDF isn't loading. But basically, these things are attracted to electricity. The plants you're looking at that look similar to, but not quite, are clearly in some dormant stage of. They haven't been like caught onto the fact that there's so much electricity, so they haven't like bloomed. But this one had. They're just mundane plants at this point. If you want to go through and it'll take a couple minutes, or if you have a flamethrower, to clear this away.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you do
I
see
left
that
it on the ship.
the plant life here is conducive to taking on this form.
Do you mean conductive?
I said conducive on purpose.
Boom.
Aw.
Yes. You got me. Conductive.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. What is everyone else thinking? I'm worried about the silo.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking it's a silly place to build an
I wanna at
electricity
least
silo near these
radio
electric
the
heating
silo.
plants.
Yeah, we should see what they're doing. And
Yeah, we should
Tomo,
check
you
on
should
them.
not go anywhere near these plants. Everyone else should pull them up.
Okay, so
Fair enough.
Tomo, you went to Gavin and seen to them. Gally, you wanted to look at the the structures themselves.
Yeah, we saw that some of the wires have been damaged where he was.
Yes,
So see
some
if
of
I
them.
can fix up.
Yeah, sure. You give me an engineering check,
Okay. Look at the button.
and while you're doing that, I'll just tell you any sort of mending will repair these wires just fine.
Okay,
But
well,
to
14
see the
anyway.
extent of the damage, yeah, give me that engineering check as I go over to Carrie. No,
Yep.
not Carrie.
Rora?
Rora. Yes. I'm looking at the chat now.
Who's Carrie?
So Gally Hall have their names. Jeff and Carrie don't, so I'm flip-flopping in my brain. So Rora, you wanted to get on your comm and get a hold of
Yeah, I wanted to
the
see what was
silo.
going on there.
Sure. Yeah, you call, and immediately you get the same person that sent the message. Let me pull up the art for them. They are Meledia. Where are you? There are a lot of NPCs in this AAV, which
yeah,
is
I don't know
great
how
for
you're
me,
juggling that.
by trickling them in. One
Fair
per
enough.
session.
We call everyone in the phone book, see if we can get some help here.
Yeah. So you see, you know this person. You flew with all these people, so you're aware, especially as kind of not quite de facto leader of this expedition. You know that Melidia Crinth is the person that called in, and she answers, "Yes, you must help us. The grain silo. It's improperly." It's improperly raised. It could collapse at any moment. Elenez Zorian came by. Please, come quick.
Let's go.
Wait, we
Are
could
we-
use
are we-
some help. Wait, are we all on the call, or
Are we clearing the stuff first and then
Yeah,
going?
we should
I don't think we
probably
have.
clear these.
I don't think we have time though. Like,
All right.
it sounds like
Can we
How
call
does
the
somebody
building's
else
about
to
to
clear the
fall.
brush?
Okay.
Yeah, can we get the not
Yeah.
farmers, the food procurement specialist?
Sure.
Yeah, the FPS
Yeah.
food procurement specialist.
Okay, sure. If you want to get on the horn, those the people that are the food procurement specialists are the Willowanth family. Yeah, you can send a quick message. Gavin is kind of clearing his head, still kind of like a little jittery in the fingers. He pulls out a knife and he starts just hacking and cutting.
He's got a knife.
He is wounded a bit, but Tomo, you did heal him. With that life science check, I'll just kind of roll over for those that rolled well. That like as long as they get to him quick enough, these things won't like evolve, blossom, and turn into these electrified vines.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems like a proximity kind of thing. That
Yes.
if they're close enough, they'll start to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but-
we could probably just like have somebody erect like a wall, burn back some of the brush, and then that should do
Yeah,
it. Really.
probably be fine.
Oh wait, don't we still
Yeah.
have what's her name on the call? Like begging for help.
Well, Meledia, so like a lot of this is happening at once, so I'm kind of like juggling all this. So while
No, it's fine. We're like, please help me. We're like, build a wall and then set the brush afire. Yeah.
while Tomo is doing this, Rora is making
look
the
real
phone
nice.
call. Gally, you're casting your mending magic on this, and Hall is standing there looking impressive as hell.
Yes.
How are you move? I'm trying to get to this wiring. God,
So not right yet. Sorry,
don't over
sorry.
there.
Still carrying Gavin.
So that all happens. You look around, you see that Gavin is well on his way of hacking and slashing the closest kind of layer of foliage in this area, and within minutes the FPS will be here to.
I think this is good. Looks like he's getting his anger out. It's probably for the best.
Yeah, we should just leave him to it. He seems fine.
Agreed.
Just like
Crying and slashing as he's going.
Yeah. So you are free to make your way over to the grain silo, storage silo thing.
All right, let's do it.
As we're
Yeah.
heading down there, Tomo will take the opportunity on the journey to say, I just want you all to know how impressive your combat skills are. You are all very talented.
Come on, you've
Thanks,
got a
Tomo.
giant. Yeah, thank you, but you've got a giant lightning buster cannon thing. Like you're super fast.
Oh, this is nothing.
Please point that way for me. Thank you.
Sorry. I deactivate it, and it just becomes like a crystal that floats above Tomo's head.
So yeah, it takes a couple minutes.
I haven't seen combat prowess like this since the war. I'm impressed. Well done. I put my hand on Tomo's shoulder. It kind of sinks in a little bit. Like, just like have to pull it out.
Doesn't phase them at all.
Almost used to it, it seems.
Used to it, yeah.
Oh, sorry. There's a bird there. Oh, there you go. You're good.
Yes. So little bit of time is going to pass. You have time to chat a little bit. Before we get into the next scene, I do want to ask, because you brought up the bird, we talked last session about the migratory birds with tusks in their beaks. Did anyone, both at the table and in chat, think of any cool names that can top
Walrus duck.
Walrus duck.
Yeah, I think we only got walrus duck.
The
So-
walrus ducks.
I
Oh,
didn't
the
get
most
much
on the nose possible name.
Yep.
I
We can call them
wanted to
Warmies
use
for
like
short.
it's the naming convention from like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And you
And
already went up
definitely, we know what walruses and ducks are in this universe.
They're completely different things, though. They're not walrus and ducks. They look so different.
Yeah. You wouldn't recognize them if you saw them.
and you did fight a bunch of mole beetles. So it's like it's good that you've
Yeah.
come to this. So,
we've
for
got
now,
beetles and wucks.
oh,
Yes, let's go.
I'm not naming this episode "What the What's."
Why not? This episode names itself.
So did last one. So all right, unless someone can save me and find a better name than Walrus Duck or Wuck, that's what we'll go with, and I will stand by it. So awesome! You make your way across. Like the settlement's going up pretty quickly. You're not terribly far away. It's just a couple minutes as you stroll through at a jog or whatever pace you like to go.
We're just sauntering slowly as this tower is going to fall.
We should hurry. It's
Yes.
going to fall soon.
Yes.
I go at my very fast clip of 20.
Yes.
Yeah, I get behind Carrie and like try to push her a little faster. Sorry, Rora.
Yeah, I walk past Laura and then like slow down to walk alongside and be like, we can get you like a cart or something, I think, back at the base.
We got to be able to figure out something.
Right.
And so about Rora's moving speed, it's funny to me because it's not like Rora can just like bear down and move her feet faster. She's literally
No,
floating.
she just
Can they just like moving in the air, constantly jiggling in the air, like when you hold
Yeah.
a dog up.
Yeah, so it's you make your way
Feet are
there.
just kicking.
Yeah, and as you're going
I'm
up, people.
trying!
Perpetually doggy paddling.
So many feet.
Yeah. So and all around you, like the buildings that are going up, you see little prefab sections of the ship that broke or that came apart when you arrived at the planet are like becoming various buildings that we will see as the adventure progresses. But these prefab buildings are being put up. People are kind of looking at you all as you walk by, and they have a concerned look on their faces. Yeah. And they definitely a lot of them like give you a second look because you were on the ship, but they don't know who you are. Like this whole expedition that was set forth was set up. The team met each other, trained, did some sort of bonding thing, and then on the day of launch, you just kind of show up and strong-armed your way onto the ship, and we haven't quite delved into the.
I think we did an insight check. So
Everyone was very convinced that I was supposed to be here.
no, we, but we're just like right now. You're more useful to us than not. So
Yes,
Exactly. As we're walking by these people's like, sorry, got a green silo to go save. Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah, and again, like, okay, he's helpful. All right, so we will be exploring.
And we're here now. What else are we gonna do with them?
Yeah.
Exactly. Send him back? No.
Right, great silo, guys. Everyone, focus. Great silo.
Already ahead of him. It's this way. How? Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Making sure everyone's staying back. Everyone, stay back.
They do leave a wide berth for you as you are making your way through, and you eventually get across. You spend some time. You make your way across the settlement to the storage silo, and standing outside, holding their hands, is a human female. I'm going to throw her art back up because she's got real good art. This is...
She does. Her hairstyle on point.
Yeah, Meledia Krinth walks up. I actually have to look at the AP for the first time.
If any of you have seen The Expanse, it looks like I'm blanking on the name, but one of the main characters in The Expanse, Naomi. Looks like Naomi from The Expanse.
Yep, she walks up and she's like wringing her hands. Oh, thank you, advisors. I sent Zorian in. He's been in there a few moments. What kept you? Is everything okay? Is Gavin all right?
There was a complication at the power generator, but it is dealt with. How can we help?
I saw some bug creature make a. They broke a hole into the back of the facility, but I couldn't crawl in. Zorian
Steve?
came and
Steve,
no, I don't.
I'm out.
I don't know, Steve.
It's a long story. Don't worry about it. You said there was a hole.
Don't worry
in the
about
back.
it.
Yes. Come this way. Zorian's in there, but he told me to not come in. And she beckons you all to follow her around the facility.
Okay.
All right.
You so?
I will do that.
Yep. Absolutely.
1 second. I have the wrong thing.
Your tokens are so big.
So she goes around to the back of the thing, and there's like little bushes here, and this is a storage silo at a pretty steep angle, not at all upright yet, and you see that at the back that one of the structures has been chewed through, and there's a small hole that maybe Tomo can fit in, but that's it.
I could go through the front door. This isn't happening.
Okay. Hull, as you start to go to the front of the ship, you do see a little creature come flying out of the hole.
Oh,
I will. Can I set my my mote back into my hand, and I want to set it back to stun since we're dealing with potentially sentient or living beings.
Oh, you know what?
This...
Can I say that? Excuse me. That we got a clipping of the plant earlier.
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking that myself. We just had so many things we were throwing at Dawn.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely going to want to study this this thing that is attracted to electricity. What sort of uses it can be. What sort of defenses around it. None of you did a real knowledge check on this thing. But yeah, so I can say you have that. You're standing there though, but this bug that flies out of the hole, it lands right at your feet, and it is sliced in twain.
Ooh.
I set my solar mote back to kill.
Just two halves come flying out.
Basically, and
All right, I crouch down real low and look into the hole.
yeah, you look into the hole. You have dark vision, so you see immediately a skull, and the skull is looking up at you, and it's saying, "What voice did I do for him?"
Hi.
Okay. Hello there. I'm Elenez. Could you make room so I can fit?
Oh, yeah. Takes a few big stomps backwards.
Yeah. Here, take this. And jutting out of the hole, you all see, now that hole takes a step back, that a bony hand is holding a furred clump in their hand, and it is clearly dead.
Okay.
Just the way I like it. What is
Yeah.
this?
They kind of toss it a little unceremoniously on the ground, and they squeeze out. You see, it looks very painful that this person, a medium-sized person, that you all, well, those of you that are supposed to be here will know.
Is the door
As-
locked or something?
Whoa.
This guy,
Oh, he's the Eoxian.
yes,
Aye, aye, aye.
this Eoxian named Elenez Zorian stands up, brushes themselves off. I locked it. Simple magic spell will unlock it. These creatures broke in. I took care of it. They said you were busy elsewhere.
Much
We appreciate
appreciated.
Oh,
you taking the initiative.
excellent.
Yes, of course.
And it's not going to fall over or anything? I heard it might fall over.
There are some bracing. There will be some bracing needed and some engineering checks made towards it, but that's outside.
Oh, yes, engineering checks. I know how to do those.
Specific, Dorian, but okay, we can look into that.
Who do I make
outside-
the check out to?
Yes. It is outside my experience, but this is a everyday asteroid louse. And this thing, he picks up the ball of fur. I don't quite know what it is. It is some sort of fey, I believe. And
Can I check this thing out? Gotta give it like a license.
yeah, give me mysticism.
Mysticism.
Anyone
alright.
with mysticism.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 for 26.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
I
Yeah.
don't think I could beat that.
I'm all about dead furry things, apparently.
My jam.
I got a 21.
Nice.
Just pulling out
I
the-
poke it.
Yeah, you poke it. It's dead. It's just kind of. It's like it's in this this Eoxian's hand, and this with dead closed eyes and holding, like, laying there limply. You see this.
Oh, it
These
was
monsters are supposed to
adorable.
be so cute. These are kind of cute.
Yeah, this thing is dead.
Alright, well,
Those
it's
of you
dead.
that got above a 12 will know that this is a gremlin.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, this is. So who did get above a 12?
I think me and Tomo.
So Tomo and Rora, or Tomo and Galley, this is a Drickla's gremlin. They are a small fae. Some facts about them: they are vermin-like, but they have an ability. They have several abilities. Some of them are known to emit a psychic call that attracts insects.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay, it's Gremlins 2 then.
Yeah, it's gremlins too.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see here. This thing's 2.5 feet tall, round furry bodies, just covered with lice, little biting flies, and just like this thing is just this.
Ew.
It looks cute,
Not cute
but
anymore.
it's just filthy with disgusting little critters. The helmet-like carapace on its forehead and crown sports also a pair of antennae, and you both know that they have latent psychic powers that kind of do like a telepathic drone that lulls insects.
They're Pied Pipers.
Kinda, yeah.
That's how they hunt, I guess.
Yep.
Are they solitary creatures, or do they normally roam in
As a bunch
groups?
aside, I think he said.
That is a wonderful question. They often solitary. They can, like, once they like burrow in, they can cause an infestation and breed and spread. But Elenez kind of drops it down unceremoniously. I looked around for more, but I didn't see anything. I think we were able to nip this one in the bud.
Phew, that's lucky. That's lucky.
Excellent.
You know, Tomo, you should hold on to this.
Just sticking in him.
Yeah, I mean, I just washed my fur, so you know. Here you go.
Is this isn't the one that's in 2, right? That's the asteroid
No.
louse.
Yeah, the asteroid louse. I can show. I think collectively we've all seen asteroid louse, but I will show a picture of that. So that is what. So this. So
Gotcha.
They eat through metal and cargo and stuff, and they're horrible.
Yes, they are, and they are the bane of level 1 characters. But you're all level 3 characters, and
Get those things out of here.
but
So
yeah,
not a problem.
yeah. I almost don't need a check for them because they are so ubiquitous in the game itself. But yeah, little bugger must have been grabbed up, lulled in by their telepathy. Fortunately, I'm not insectoid. It's a good thing Tanehera didn't get anywhere near this.
We are very grateful for your assistance in this matter. I was concerned that when we responded to the power station, that something catastrophic may happen while we were away.
At that, you just hear just an imperceptible little groan from above, as the grain silo does need some.
Oh,
We
right.
need-
I
we need
got
to
it.
shore this up.
We should do that now.
Yeah, okay.
Let's unlock that door. I'm gonna get in there and try to hold it up. Let's go.
Okay, so at that, Elenez gives you all a very bony, toothy smile, gives you all a wave, and takes a rifle off their back and just walks out of town.
I give him a high five. This guy's
Don't
cool.
worry, we've got this. Goodbye.
Just raises one hand as they wave without turning around, and
What a cool guy.
yeah.
That guy's cool. I like him.
Yeah, wow.
He can hang.
So he is. This is kind of stuff your characters would know. Elenez is a scout, and he's going to be doing his own thing. You all have his comm unit if you have need of him out in the wild. And I'm playing around with some fun little mechanics of the chances of him being able to actually help you in a disaster. But he is headed out to just kind of explore around.
So cool.
You four will be in charge of actually exploring and mapping out this whole area. He's just a cool loner.
Was he smoking 2 cigarettes as he left?
I mean, he's Yahtzee, so he doesn't hurt him. So yeah, I guess. So cool.
So cool.
All right.
All right, let's get in here.
Yeah,
need to,
you hold it up. I'll try and see what I can do.
I do
Yeah.
an engineering check.
Yeah, come and help us out, Ro.
Yeah, Rory.
You said we needed to magic the door open or something?
I did a 23.
Okay, so Maladia goes over and she waves her hand, casts a spell, and the door clicks. Red light to go.
Oh, nice.
Rora, 20, what? Sorry?
23.
Nice, 23. Yeah, you look at it, you see that gremlin had gotten in and was starting to build up a nest, and in making itself comfortable, it nibbled and chewed on the very wrong parts. So as this silo was kind of going up, it suffered some instability. So it's going to take a little bit of time to shore up, do things. So, but with the 23, it's well within the possible. It's well within your abilities to assist with this. This isn't going to fall yet because the silo is empty. But I guess to describe the building itself, it's a little bit better for those who are watching later. This structure is a triple wall lined structure. Goes 50 feet up in the air, and this is what is used to you're going to bring food here and have it processed to scrub for carcinogens, bad stuff, filter out the
Bacteria,
Yeah.
all the fun stuff.
Yeah, but as you know from your 17-day flight out here, you were all using ration packs. There wasn't a whole lot of fresh food to be had, really. So this thing is getting primed to be used. Fortunately, it is empty. So with the 23, Rora, you know you're going to be able to help do that. What is everyone doing to aid in the repairs, or what's everyone else doing? And Rora, same.
Yeah, absolutely. When we get in there, I'm going to find what areas look like they're ready to fall, and I'm just going to put my arm under it and try to give it extra support while people work on it, so there's no chance of it dropping.
We'll have Hal just do literally the heavy lifting while we fix it up.
Can I Well, let me get to everyone else, and then I have an idea of thing I want to run by you. Tomo, how about you?
I think Tomo is going to be resorting to moral support for this one.
Okay.
No real strength to speak of, and no engineering to speak of.
Okay. Very good. So, all right, you're standing back. Melidia is she is a structural engineer, so she is going to help. But Rora, what about you? With that 23, you know you can do it. Do you have any ideas of how you want to tackle this?
I'm going to look around for bracing materials that we can attach to the damaged structures.
Okay.
So we can shore up the weak points.
Okay. So, when you arrived at this planet, your ship kind of disassembled itself into the component structures, and then once it landed, like shells came off. It's a bit like your settlement's kind of like an IKEA couch. Not the extra bits. There's not supposed to be, but like the stuff that
Falls apart immediately.
Well,
Jeez.
so like the little slats that are in the cardboard box to keep it from getting bumped up. There is like material you can use to brace, but what I wanted to float to both Rora and Galley, Rora, you're a nanocyte. You can make stuff with your nanites.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and Galley with your fabricate tech. If you want, when we talked about it before pre-show, when we were talking about what everyone's abilities are like, we talked about like kind of Green Lantern-esque stuff. So that's
so cool.
I don't gonna let you play your characters, of course, but like to remind you of all that conversation. Cool. So go ahead and walk me through what this looks like from your perspectives.
Okay, you go first, Rora.
Oh. Great, thanks.
I can go if you want. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, so Gary's gonna go in, follow her, just start ordering him to hold up various bits while she plays out onto, I guess, with both hands to create these neon structures that will raise up around the bits and hold them in place, so that Gary can then Rora can then make physical structures that will keep it held there. Because my spells only last for a certain amount of time.
I think we're still going to have to use the material. We can use the arrays. Between the two of us, we can use the arrays and we can use the galleys tech, but otherwise, because my nanites stay with me, otherwise they disappear or whatever. They're not permanent.
Yeah, I think we need to use the material so that when we walk away, it doesn't just fall down because it disappeared.
Okay, then we can actually, in that case, Toro can help by helping us get some materials, and we can all just basically take the time to set up.
But I do
diagrams.
have one of the things that I do have is one of my arrays for gear array is my engineering kit. So I can conjure up the tools and whatever that I need to
sweet.
To build.
All right, let's do this.
All right, I'll go out into the wilds and look for trees to chop down.
Actually, while we're doing this, while we've got a moment with just the four of us, I think Gary's gonna check out Hull and be like, so, not that I don't appreciate or anything, but what are you doing here? I mean, I didn't want to say anything, and she's doing spells around while she's talking, but I know you're not a pilot because I'm a pilot.
Keep it down. Just you and me on this one.
No, of
course. All right. Okay. So here's the deal. I know I've been very smooth about it, but probably wasn't supposed to be on this ship. Just gonna say it right there. You four seem like you can keep a secret, and I'm gonna need you to do this for me on this one here, guys.
Okay, I mean,
But-
as long as you don't you're not here to screw with the mission or hurt anybody. I gotta be honest, I don't care.
That's the best answer I could hope for, if I'm being honest.
Laura, though, she is
Do
a
you-
rules lady.
Do you
She might want
have
more.
anything that could be beneficial to us? Can you do things? I mean, I understand you're good in combat, which has been very helpful to us.
Yeah,
But do
Hull
you
was
have any
just
other
about to
skills?
flex, and then he puts his hand back up to hold up the video again.
Just so we know what since obviously apparently piloting is not one of your better skills, just so
Oh.
I know going forward what we can depend on you for.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. It's good that in a squad everyone knows what the other soldiers can do. That's fair. Well, I've got entropic abilities so that I can do some kind of magic. I'm not really magical, if you know what I mean. I can't do stuff like Galley can, but I can do some incredible punches. Aside from that, listen, I was going through a lot of stuff recently, especially since the war, and I just needed to get out of the Pact Worlds. I have a lot of bad memories around there, and I recognized the Zeneliti Corporation. I heard that you guys were going as far away as possible. I thought, hey, maybe I can be helpful. Maybe I can. Because honestly, I've never met anyone who wouldn't prefer to have me out in front in combat. So I can be here to help that. I'm not trying to ruin anything. I'm just trying to get away from it.
You're here now, and at this point it's not easy to send you back, so you may as well be useful to us.
Yeah, it's true.
I, for one, am grateful that you are here. Sets down whatever materials they've found so far. Your demeanor is very pleasant. Your thoughts are delicious.
I look back and walking that's weird, Tom.
Yeah, everyone just stops and turns and looks at Tomo. Thanks, I guess. That means something to me. I'll figure out what later. But aside from lifting and that kind of thing, I've been in combat, so I have some medicine abilities. I've played scout, and I worked as a mercenary for a while, so I have some knowledge of combat too, and I promise I can help. I just don't narc on me.
Never.
Well, as I
Well-
think we're the people who you're narking to,
Correct.
I think you're fine.
Listen, that Yosoki woman, she kind of scares me, won't lie, and I feel like she'd contact just anyone just to get rid of me. I can feel it.
Oh, Deirdre, yeah, you just have to know how to deal with Deirdre.
You can
Just-
deal with Deirdre?
Just keep yourself useful, and we'll keep you around.
Oh, I appreciate that, and I'll try not to get in your way.
All right. I think we can probably say that conversation would mean we're done with making things not explode and fall over.
Yep. No, that was very good. And
Hey, yeah.
I've also felt I was never inside the building. I forgot to remove myself.
okay.
No, that's not falling on me. I'm just gonna do it from here.
Okay, so yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Tomo, you go out, come back with more materials. There's stuff to use. You're an intelligent being. You find tools to get the job done, and you all spend some time getting it done. And it's funny you bring up Deirdre, because as you're finishing,
I'm so glad I said that last part.
it's dark out, right? So you don't see her right away because you're busy working, but you do hear somehow those sensible shoes are click-clacking.
You can feel the presence approaching.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It's like
like-
Jurassic
there's an
Park.
earthquake.
You hear that?
Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I kind of have a feeling how everyone feels about
The whole
her.
building shaking. What's going on?
Yep.
So as Diedrich gets close enough for Tomo to pick up like emotional thoughts,
Oh,
Yes.
no.
like you said, Pan, it's the scene from Jurassic Park where Tomo's ooze body just forms ripples.
I love that. Yes. And those of you preoccupied with your work, you hear, well, advisors, you've done such marvelous work. I was so glad that you chose to take the power situation a little more seriously than food. There's plenty here we can forage if need be. And I just want to thank you all for swooping in to the rescue. All four of you. And she like cocks ahead. And I'm gonna show what Diedrich looks like again because the art is just too goddamn
The
good.
art is like everything you know about Dietrich is in the art.
Yes.
It is. That's visual storytelling right there.
I love it. And so those of you, so I guess we take a moment here to say if you're watching and you have to leave or whatever, once we do this here, we put the video up on the Emergency Power Podcast YouTube channel. Feel free to throw a link, moderators. And then the same day we put this out as an audio format. So I'm going to do my very best to take advantage of being able to show visually what these people look like, but also for those people like me, this middle-aged Isoki woman, golden fur, I guess.
Yeah.
Wearing a blue blazer, a skirt, and heels, has just a look of simpering condescension, and I'm definitely playing her to give everyone a taste that they don't already know.
That's such a good description.
I'm playing her very much as Kai Wynn from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I hate this NPC so much. She's just standing there, just smiling. Her made up eyes, her eyes. She's wearing makeup. I don't know the best way of putting it. Sorry. She looks done up. I believe I see lipstick.
Yeah, she's got lipstick.
Yeah. So she
Nails
looks like
polished and varnished.
yes, an administrator. She wants to speak to the manager, and she is speaking to the manager and Hull.
We appreciate.
Don't call me out like that, Dawn. She's gonna hear you.
Every time.
Well,
She's gonna hear you.
pretty sure she already knows. I think that Tomo, upon hearing Deidre like inflect on the four of you and cock her head, Tomo is going to say, "Ah, yes, that reminds me. Please print out an employee badge for our friend here, Hull. He seems to have misplaced his application." Shoutouts to our chat for that suggestion.
Yeah, it was really good. I was smiling at it, but I didn't feel like I could say anything.
Look, go ahead and give me a bluff check.
I'm very glad I didn't say anything.
Can I aid on that if I just like
How are
add some
you aiming?
bullshit?
Yeah.
He probably lost it during training. He is. He's got a lot of everything to lose stuff in. You know how it is. I mean, you don't. You're small, but you know how it is.
Yeah, the form's so small compared to me. They fall all over the place.
Would you be willing to do that, Deirdre? We would really appreciate it.
Oh man, we can fight fire with fire.
Rora
Get over-
knows
get
how to
over-
handle
get
this. Awesome.
So those that aided, who aid?
Oh,
I don't-
amazing.
Yeah, these are private, so I can't see results.
What are the rates? Is it 20?
Can I try?
Yeah, you can do sense motive untrained. How do you put your foot in your mouth?
I got an 11 for the aid.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just. Yeah, I'm sure I just dropped it before I got on the ship. My apologies.
Okay. So I need 2 aid.
Yeah.
3 aid.
I ate as well.
Wow. Okay. So 3
I
aid.
got a natural 13 plus 0.
Very good.
I'm very sorry. I got a natural 1.
No.
So, 4 plus
no.
your 6, that's a 10.
Wow.
Okay.
Which is weird
She,
because someone doesn't have a face to like not read.
yeah, she kind of her Diedrich's smile kind of sharpens somehow. I would be
I'm cut.
happy to help you with this. Employee badge, of course, yes. And I will, of course, report the mistaken, the lost items to Zeneliti Labs as soon as I get to send out my first transmission tomorrow.
I'm gonna
Nice.
nudge Roar. I'm gonna
That's
nudge
fine.
Roar.
Have them contact us with any questions.
Thank you, Rora. I am going to my station. That idiot should be having my office set up completely by now. You all have a great first night in. I'm so excited that you're all setting out tomorrow to explore this wild, dangerous, possibly lucrative world.
Yeah, it's a good thing there's 4 of us.
Yes, it's a good thing there's 4 of you. And she doesn't wait for any other response, turns around and just, like, I don't have to describe the walk. You know the walk she's doing as she's trotting across the
I love
Good
this
night,
character. Yeah, bye, Diedrich.
Hull just leans down. I think she bought it.
She didn't buy it.
What? I never know when she's telling the truth or not. I'm really having trouble with that one.
So,
yeah, I'm pretty sure she doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Well, I that part I do.
I don't think she likes anyone.
Or we're gonna have to do something about that, aren't we? Because if that transmission goes off, I don't know what's gonna happen. But
Don't worry,
Well,
we can smooth it over.
yeah.
We have final say on employees, correct?
We are also going to have a word with Deirdre about her language. She can't refer to the other employees as incompetence. We are going to have a meeting with her.
You get on that? I agree, but I'm so busy with.
Hull goes and puts his hand on the beam again. I gotta
get back to the.
Do we have an HR person?
I think
that's
it's
I think she just walked away.
She's our communications person.
there is Astraka, who is the counselor.
We can butter her up.
That might fit under HR, maybe. It's probably the closest we have. Tomo has some experience there as well.
Oh man, I hope you guys can help because I'm not going to be able to talk my way out of this situation.
It should be fine. As long as you're youthful, you should be okay. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing here. Plus, like Laura said, we can't send you back. Easily.
We'll write up a really good resume for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, all of you.
You're
I know I'm kind
useful.
of.
We can handle Deirdre.
Again, though,
I've never met something so small that's so terrifying.
Tomo
Right.
strikes again.
So,
except maybe Tomo after that big giant blast that he did.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, what are we doing next?
So the night's work is done. The prefab structures by this point have all finished, and people are milling around. There are children. The Willow Ant do have like teen-aged children, so there aren't like little kids running around, but there is a fair amount of excitement going on. People excited to be on the world. A lot of people are just running around, like observing, looking at the places that they're in charge of went up okay. And as you're walking around, there's prefab, Diedrich's office. The shuttle that you all came down on is going to be kind of your living quarters until you're able to invest the time and resources to create personalized lodging.
Do we still have a lakeside view?
Still have lakeside view. Yeah, the
Okay.
shuttle hull did not do a great job of landing, but he is the starboard windows are at least looking out at the water. And speaking of the water, the Willow-Ants family are walking back up. You see long strings of fish and birds. Like if anyone is looking, they're coming back up to the camp, and a campfire is made in the center of where all these prefabs are. This big, whatever you're going to make into this settlement, just a big bonfire has been lit, and on it, variety of fish, walrus ducks, and you see that.
Oh man, roast wok, nice.
When I say I hate it, I mean I love it.
It smells so good.
But I hate it. And you see that someone has strung up the asteroid louse, and it's kind of like roasting in the coals. But
okay.
Probably
Oh
not
man, Hull is like licking his lips. They tasted so good raw. I can't imagine what they'd be like cooked.
What, the asteroid louse?
Any of it.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the first non-ration food you've had in days. So everyone is just having, it's just a very nice moment where everyone, like, there's not streamers and everything. There's a lot of work to be done, but the first stage, the first night in this new world is going to be one of celebration. And there's, oh wait, I have music for this.
Ooh.
Okay, don't woo yet. It's just Woodland Campsite from tabletopaudio.com. But this night,
Horizons Unknown, now accepting sponsors.
please. But yeah, this night goes on. People are celebrating. There's not a whole lot of merriment besides just everyone animatedly talking about, pointing at the what features, and they can see in the distance the mountains to the far southwest. The lake extends far and wide on both sides, and it goes towards a river that flows north. And people are having a good time, and we can fade to dark, move on to the next day. Does anyone have anything they want to do or say on this night? Any speeches? Any thing?
I'm gonna just take some photos. I think this is
Okay.
a cool thing to commemorate. So I'm gonna try and usher the other three into a shot. for what it's worth. Okay, you guys gotta go behind the other settlers because you're massive.
Yeah, we have to leave 30 feet back behind everything just to be in frame.
If you stand over there, it'll look like you're medium sized against everybody else. So just way back over there.
Okay, then he steps just a little bit closer than that, so he still looks a little bigger, but
All right.
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna get a picture with the settlers around the fire and the crew. I'll set the camera up so it takes a video as well. I'll set it up I'll fabricate a small levitator thing to make it stay still, and I'm gonna get in the picture as well.
Nice.
Do you have psychokinetic hand?
I do, yes.
Cool. So you
Nice.
all right.
use
So
that
yeah,
to-
everyone. Yep. You all gather for a group photo. All the settlers smiling. Some of them holding roast wok.
Everybody say roast wok.
Oh my god. Okay.
Roast wok.
Paul's got one about to go in his mouth, in the picture,
Gotcha. So that happens, and everyone, they eat their fill. The fish is good. It's some form of freshwater trout. I spent an inordinate amount of time looking at goofy animals to throw at you, and some of them are just going to have to be ubiquitous. This is trout-like. This is bird-like. But
You can just
when
add
they
space
are,
to the beginning of everything. So it's like a
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
space
that
trout.
fixes it.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's about-
space trout. Nope. Don't like that any better than what. But this night goes on. People go off to their head off to their own cabins. Like those that have stations kind of have living quarters built into their stations. You see the Willowanth family go off and like set up tents outside on the ground. You see the 4 half-orc sisters, including
Yes. So cool.
Is Hal going to go and try and make a move or something?
Let's sort out the whole like I'm not supposed to be here thing first, then we'll talk.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a 4 sisters. They are half orcs. They are the Angelos sisters. They are the kind of manual laborers of the camp. The art shown now is Tharlet Angelos that Adam did the fantastic art for.
Nice job.
Thank you. They go off to their own thing. They have quarters or whatever, but you see a lot of people are choosing to sleep out under the stars on a planet instead of cramped bunk beds on a starship.
Oh yeah, hell
You know
yeah.
what? Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
I've been in that storage room for the past month-ish, and not doing it anymore. So, yeah. I'm gonna go sleep under those tall green things. Trees. Yeah, trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what they are. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna sleep under one of those. Sounds good.
I think I might actually stay out for a little while. I'll stay out with you, really. Hang out.
That sounds good.
I think
That
she'll
sounds nice.
I guess nap by the fire wherever the guys are. Because like I said, we've been inside the ship for a long while. It's nice to be out inside.
Tomo is going to stay on the edges of town, and they're looking out on like the horizon to see if there are any weather storms out in the distance.
The unknown horizon, you mean?
The unknown horizons, trying to make them known.
Awesome. That would be a
Quick
survival
theme
check.
song.
More credits.
All right, survival check. I can do that. That is a 15.
Okay, 15. Yeah, you do see that. I need to look at the map.
Sorry, that noise in the background, by the way, is foxes. It's not the sound effects. I will go punch them in a bit, so don't worry about it.
Wow.
I thought it was just adding to the atmosphere.
No,
but,
it's foxes
I mean,
in my garden going nuts.
Gotcha.
if you have to go punch them, I don't know how I feel about that, but
It's okay. I'm just using stun.
Wow. Okay, so I just pulled up a map of New Harmony West. This is the area of this adventure we're going to be exploring in Book 1, at least. Your charter does extend further east, but for our purposes in this book right now, you're going to be exploring this portion.
nice.
Does this work? This does not work. Okay, so I'm going to have to do something else while I vamp. But with a 15, you look out and you see that the mountains are to the southwest. There's a forest to the northwest. You're looking out. You do see that to kind of due north that there are some storm clouds kind of roiling around. Nothing dangerous with that 15. For the next 24 hours, you may get another run of some rainfall, but you don't think it's anything more than rain showers.
So that's north of our current position.
Mhm.
All right. Tomo kind of takes a mental note of that, and then at the edge of the camp proceeds like reciting their electromagni mantra, and they assume like a meditative pose.
Okay.
Paul can like hear it from where he's at, like, no.
Getting flashbacks.
Okay, so that's Tomo, that's Hull. Galley's sleeping out under the stars. How about Rora?
Rora's kind of checking on the camp, seeing that everything looks like it's under control.
Mhm.
So she's going to do some rounds before she goes to bed.
Okay, so all right, that's good. So you're going out and around. It's your settlement's not very impressive right now. These are just prefab. Get set up. It's up to you all to find building materials. It's up to you to decide what gets built first, and we probably have time tonight to talk about some of that, maybe. But you look around; there's not a whole lot, but you do see kind of milling around, walking. Also taking rounds are a pair of Noir enforcers.
Oh, yeah. I know what
So-
these are.
Yeah. Sharing an image now of what one of them looks like. As you're walking around, people are like saying goodnight to everyone, and people are you hear people that are outside snoring. You see people like it's cool because you're by the water and some of the wind going around. It's a cooler night, but it's comfortable, especially by the fire. And this Noir 2-core hard hoof walks up to you. Sword and shield not drawn, but they walk up to you.
It's like, oh, you want to rumble? Let's go.
Everything looks all clear, Rora. What are you still doing up?
I just wanted to check in with everyone to see that everyone was settling in okay, that no one had any other issues before I turned in.
No issues. My partner is on my nerves, so I'm walking this side of the settlement. They're taking the other side, and we'll swap halfway through.
I know you have it under control.
Yes. Very excited to see what you find out there. I know that they look around at the very exposed settlement. I know we don't have the resources just yet, but keep in mind if you can find building materials, we can at least put up some rudimentary walls. I know I'd be able to sleep a lot better knowing that we have something keeping out and they like cock a head, their whole head just turns mole beetles.
We do seem to have encountered enough issues that the walls are going to be a priority.
If you need any help, of course, Tachi and I are very capable maintenance engineers. We can help out. Just as long as Tachi wakes up on the right side of the bed.
I will keep your offer in mind. Thank you.
And they walk off into the night.
Does this mean that we should take a long rest?
Yes.
Sweet.
I will do that now.
Cool. Yep. You all, wherever you want to sleep. Aurora, where are you actually bedding down for the night then?
Considering it's probably tight quarters in the cabin.
Not anymore. Nope. So the cabin, the shuttle, was tight quarters because everyone had to occupy a bed. But now that people's workstations have opened up, they can sleep in there. A lot of people are sleeping outside. So when you go to the shuttle itself, it's almost completely empty. Diedrich has herself locked into her own cabin, but
Of course she does.
yeah. But yeah, you have the pick. The few people sleeping there are already asleep, full to bursting with space trout and wuck. But yeah, you have no issue finding a comfortable spot to sleep in this shuttle.
Okay.
And yeah, you sleep for the night. Nothing weird happens. None of you are interrupted in your sleep.
Nice.
But-
Hull's pointing out to Galley like, that one looks like a dragon, that constellation. There, see, there's the wings.
Galley's on her phone. Yeah.
Excellent. But but eventually you all do fall asleep. You get your full rest. Make sure you record that. Get all your resolve back, all your stamina, 1 HP if you need it. I don't think I got anywhere near hitting HP.
Is there
right?
like a button to press for a long rest, or?
There is.
Yeah. Open your inventory, and long rest is going to be under your AC, your kinetic AC.
Okay. Cheers.
Full rest, and then short rest is next to it.
Cool. So yeah, the next morning.
Up in the top area.
Okay, I don't know what I'm clicking.
Open your inventory, so like double click your character. And then on this page.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you all wake up. No rain, but you do see in the north it is cloudy. Rain clouds definitely in the distance. The sun rises in the east on this planet because I said so. It's a nice, pretty morning, and people, those of you sleeping outside, may be awoken to the people, the early risers that are already getting set up.
Okay, this is a good morning because I just saw something pop across our chat here, which said we just got 50. So we officially have enough to get affiliate as we wake up in the morning.
We wake up to affiliates.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you,
they printed out Hall's badge. Nice.
So thank you, Ghost of Sunny, being our number 50. Ghost of Sunny, I see a lot of times in chat. Also, I want to take a moment. We were rated by J Station 64. They were playing No Man's Sky. Very fun game. If you like us, if you like this story, if you like this idea of setting up a colony and exploring, you are going to lose 100 hours in the next month if you download No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
I like how every time we just like, oh, dude, go get No Man's Sky.
Sponsored by No Man's Sky, guys.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a whole lot of fun. The 4 of the 5 of us have played a little bit. We tried to link up. We might do some streaming of it sometime. Question mark.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I'd have to get my VR out, but I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
So
good in VR.
So yeah, thank you, J Station. They're great dude, great group. He's also part of the Mana Pot. Oh wait, I can do shout outs and stuff. Wow, I'm so smart.
We're still getting used to this.
Yeah. Let's see if that does it right. Okay. Yeah. Check them out. He also plays in Fly Free or Die Adventure Path, returning this Monday on the Manapot Studios Twitch. I'm there a lot. I have most days free, so I do spend some time. So thank you all for showing up. We still have some game time. But I just want to take a moment. Congrats. We hit 50. Hope we can maintain it. But the next morning you wake up, people start working, and some of them, once they get their morning started, it's going to take a little bit for people to develop a rhythm of what their daily routines look like. So there's not a big sense of urgency because it's up to you all, the 4 of you, to head out now and start to explore your charter. I'm going to pose a question now, and I'm already regretting it because I didn't ask earlier. Have we decided on a settlement name?
Oh, Jeff.
I have proposed one in our private chat. So the name that I proposed, we had some discussion about, like, I was thinking it'd be cool to name it after the mate that our benefactor Zeneliti lost, and it's the reason that our group is here is to try and find a cure for the disease that they died from. So I was thinking we came up with the name Orladan for Zeneliti's mate. So I'm thinking of calling it Orladan's Rest.
Oh, that's nice.
Works for us.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Hull respects a strong dragon name. Absolutely.
Yeah, so Orladan's Rest. I'm just gonna say for now, I'm just gonna commit. We're not gonna discuss it any further than we already have. Orladan's Rest is the name of the settlement. Immediately, people in the camp are going to start trying to make that official in some fun way, possibly, but that's for them to worry about.
Can we
For the
get like
four
a
of you,
big statue in the courtyard, like in the town square of like a resting dragon?
so I was mentioning earlier, like it's up to you to decide where you allocate resources to build what structures.
Yeah, we should probably
Monuments,
get like
I'm gonna be
walls
honest.
We
first.
could
Resting
be building
dragon
houses.
statue
Yeah, we
is
could get on the walls and
below
stuff first.
walls.
maybe.
Yeah, you
But,
guys keep
so-
trying to like put up walls, and Hull just keeps moving it over to have a dragon statue.
Yep. So yeah, that's when it comes time to do a charter turn where we start to do that. I'll have little handouts to show you guys and the listeners and the viewers of what we can do. There's a whole lot, but right now you don't really have resources to do much of anything. So it's now up to the four of you to head out of town and start doing that. And the way we're going to be exploring this charter is using hexploration rules.
Hexploration? What's that?
What's that?
So you asked. Hexploration is the act of exploring using hex squares to denote different climates, different areas. You chose this particular hex for its location to fresh water, access to food, mineral deposits on the beaches. They're looking around. I will pull up the map again of.
Actually, can we say that in world, what will happen is I guess Gally brings up like a large like map
Perfect.
hologram for we check out.
Nice.
Absolutely.
There you
Yeah, perfect. Actually, what I should have done was activate this, or should have preloaded it first. But so this is going to get a little wonky. So it loaded before, so hopefully it looks okay now.
Giant.
As Hull scuttles off the digital map, here we have the map of New Harmony, and the very precisely placed green circle is your settlement. I've already forgotten the name. I am a piece of
Orladan's
garbage. Orladan's Rest. And so from here, the way it works is depending on the slowest moving land speed of in the party, will dictate how many actions per day you get.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately,
Thought we talked about getting a vehicle.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
we haven't
if
done
we
it.
can't afford that, we can maybe like figure out a way to make us go a little faster or something along those lines.
Yes. Yeah, and I have done some extensive thought on that. You could afford vehicles, but as a token of your dedication to Zenelides' mission statement of uncovering this cure for this disease, in one of the unpacked crates, now opened up, reveals. It's my gift to you all. 2 exploration buggies.
What?
I say 2 exploration buggies because you have 2 large creatures, and you're gonna need the space.
Dude, yes.
So I don't really have art for this, but this crate is opened up, one of the last crates to be opened, and rolled out by the settlement mechanic. These vehicles look a little fancy because they were literally crafted and bought for by a dragon corporation, so they look real shiny and clean.
Oh,
and
people would definitely destroy that soon
Exactly.
enough. That's
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
There are
Paul
2
goes over and he's like rubbing his claw like up against like the paint job's like perfect right now. It's like, this is glorious.
Yeah, Gally's like under the hood being like, oh my, they got us a 25X?
Yes, they got you the 25.
Really? Yes.
Yeah. I didn't go through and like make cool little vehicle modifications. These are stock standard exploration buggies.
You get a car and you get a car.
There are 2 of them. So as my PDF locks up again and I try to get to the Hexploration rules to go over them with you, big question: who's driving Who's
Me.
gonna be okay?
I'm gonna drive this.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna drive the other car.
I'm getting in the car with Gally then.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
no,
you can.
we need like
Oh,
one
we
large
can't
character
both
in each
fit.
one.
Oh no!
Yes.
I have to ride with.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Oh no!
Guy dives in the seat, looks out the window at Tom and goes, "Sorry, buddy."
Start. Car's full, man.
Yeah, very much. Very much that scene in the first Jurassic Park when the convoy is there and
Yeah.
Dr. Grant doesn't want to sit with the kids, so he keeps moving cars. Yeah. Excellent. So Hull is driving one.
Yeah, like squeezes his way into the driver's seat. Like,
Oh,
perfect fit.
Brand new seat, and it's like.
So
I'm sitting on 2 seats.
Oh no.
basically, yes. And because you weren't really in mind when they designed and bought these, they weren't designed specifically for you, but Rora was in mind, and these were built by Dragon operatives, Dragon mechanics, what have you. So you can sit fairly comfortably.
Nice.
In these things. So who do we got
Benefits
with
of
whom?
2 large creatures.
Yeah. I'm gonna like pat the seat. Go, Rora, come on.
All right.
Tomo, quick, you got shotgun in this one.
Maybe I should drive. Are you sure? Last time you drove, we crashed.
I've already adjusted the mirrors, and you know it was the wind. You know it. We landed fine. Everything's fine.
The wind and those green
The
things.
seat's all the way back. I don't know what you wanted me to do now.
Okay. So I finally got my PDF to load. So Hexploration, the way it works is now that you're all 4 of you have 2 vehicles. You have 6 actions per day as opposed to just 1 action per day. So
Let's go.
Yeah.
you're going to be able to clear a fair amount of ground quickly.
Rad.
Yeah. So looking at the map, is that map still up for the folks? Yes, it's the main map. You're in that hex. The way it works is you move into or towards an adjacent hex, requiring a number of hexploration activities equal to the required activities. So this is where the fun of this. I mean, it's all fun, but
So excited.
Yeah. So each biome, plains, marsh, mountain, urban, aquatic, forest, have a number of required activities you have to complete to move on to the next one. And the way it works, you take the hex you're in plus the hex you're going to, and that's how many it takes to get there. My question for the 4 of you is, where do you want to go first?
Well, we need materials to build like
Forest.
walls.
Yeah, I was thinking forest too.
Yeah, so forest sounds good.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought it was a little obvious too, but I did want to pose it to you. So yeah.
What?
to
The
go
river?
There's a
from-
big arrow that points right towards it.
Yes. So it's going to require 1 plus 3, so 4 required activities. Because you're in vehicles, you're going to have 2 left over. So this first day, we're going to start to kind of wind down. But you load up into the vehicles. You have all your equipment with you. You have a heading. You see in the distance there is a forest to the northeast, and you drive off.
Rora, what kind of music do you like?
Oh boy.
You pick.
Oh boy.
Okay. It's really loud math rock.
Okay. I'm going to have to
Turn that slowly a little bit down.
use your nanites to make earplugs. But okay. Yes. You all load out. You drive off. You leave the settlement behind quickly. This hex, the one that's with the waterfront, there's a lot of plains and grassy areas that you can definitely expand on, but this is going to be the hex that has your settlement and projects that require being settlement projects, and we can go into those when it comes time to do charters. So you are moving northeast to the forest. It's bright day. for the most part. There is that storm. The rain clouds have definitely moved in from north to south. But you drive for. Another thing about Hexploration is like we know that these hexes are 12 miles across. We know as people that it wouldn't take all day to traverse that. So it's a little nebulous as far as the time it takes to do things.
Top speed of these vehicles is like 35.
Yes. That means you are doing the travel action when you move into or towards requiring. You have enough. So when doing that, you are in vehicles. You're driving around. Now is when we get to do the checks for stuff.
Nice.
I love checks for stuff.
Yeah, this is going. So there are two kind of travel actions. There's travel and then perform recon, where you're going to explore a map of a single hex of a map, and you're going to gain as much information as you can. This requires the number. It's going to take you. You get this one for free, but for forest, when we're going to get there, it's going to take 3. So you can choose now, and I'm going to ask the 2 drivers, or actually all 4 of you. Are you going to perform this recon carefully or thoroughly?
Ooh.
I mean, this is important. We need this stuff for safety.
I think thoroughly,
Carefully,
yeah.
All right.
Well, so wait. Jeff, you said carefully. I said thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
So,
I was thinking
Okay.
like carefully, not like. I get it now because carefully is like being cautious and not getting.
yeah, trying to
falling
avoid
into-
encounters and stuff.
Yeah,
And that's
not,
exactly
not
what
like not like carefully looking around for everything.
Gotcha.
So-
I got very confused. It's like, yes, let's do this. People walk in 2 different directions.
So the reason why I ask carefully or thoroughly is there are random encounters when we do travel and recon actions.
Hmm.
So are we
Let's
deciding
go.
on thoroughly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
Thorough.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll. Actually, Rora, give me a d20 roll. Flat d20.
Okay.
Ooh, it's like a luck roll.
Galatea's doing that American Psycho thing. She's talking too much about the album.
10.
10.
Obviously distracting Laura.
Okay. So you are driving along. The plains they're wide open. There's an occasional tree here and there, but it's pretty standard grasslands area. The more interesting part of this hex will be closer to your settlement near the water and all that. But you drive around. You aren't accosted by anything.
Aw.
I'm sorry. But as you spend the actions required to move into the forest, the open grasslands kind of goes away, and it's going to take a little trickier to drive your vehicles through, but there's plenty of room to do it. When we're in like, I'm trying to think of not Pathfinder 2, but like there's Hexploration travel, then overland travel, and tactical travel. So you're able to get along quickly enough, but by the end of the first day, you've made your way into the forest. You're driving along. These trees are very tall. I don't have a stand-in alien tree here for you. They're not
Space
quite. Thank you. They're not quite redwoods, but they are definitely very large trees, and there are some going about, like just have collapsed, fallen, or whatever. So those of you that are performing the recon, so the way it works is the people traveling will be the 2 drivers, and then Rora, you did the perform recon. Those of you not doing either of those things can engage in downtime activities.
Yes.
Yes. Most of them
Time to meditate.
You're playing solitaire in the back, like,
No, I need to give Hull another reroll so that he doesn't crash our car.
Okay, well, so the downtime activities with Hexploration will be build shelter, gather supplies, inoculate, maintain readiness, and secure area. those are going to be the main ones you're going to want to do. So, like at some point, you're going to have to like stop the vehicles and like explore an area. This first hex is pretty unremarkable, to be honest. But once you get into the forest, we can explore that more, and that's going to happen next time because we are reaching the end of our time. So we're gonna get into exploring this forest next time. We can talk a little more about hexploration and stuff you can do. Talk more about random encounters. There's a fun variety of things, but
Yes.
You're going to cook or collect them all.
Yep, and
Yes. This
Or
is
both.
like lethal Pokemon.
Lethal, delicious Pokemon.
lethal delicious Pokemon. So yes. Now I'll play this music again. So we will explore all that in 2 weeks' time. Had a lot of fun this session. You all
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, cheers,
kicked
guys.
ass. I boosted the HP for the combat to accommodate your level, and you still just utterly smashed it. So good job, everyone. Those of you watching, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for getting us to 50 follows.
Thank you
What
so
that
much,
means-
guys.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you.
Really appreciate it.
Channel points, stickers, emotes, all that fun stuff I have to
Yes.
get to research. So thank you. Had a blast on my end of things, watching you all roleplay while I just sit here smirking to myself.
Listen, I will roleplay for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, same.
Like, I'm
Same.
ready.
I will make up bands to annoy people about.
So at this point, at this stage in the game now, you've established the settlement. Now it's sandbox. You go where you want. Occasionally, you may get called back to the settlement. Hint: you will be called back to the settlement to help with things. But yeah, you explore for a little bit. We could talk more offline, and then come back next time to talk about like what kind of strategy you're going for. Definitely, we're going to be gathering materials, but we can talk about that next time. We are going to be raiding the official Paizo Twitch account today, so I'm going to get that primed and ready to go. But before we go, I want to thank everyone for making these first 3 episodes just amazing.
It's been so much fun.
2022 is going to be great. We've got so much more fun stuff planned.
Yeah, look forward to it.
And
Can I just mention, Don, real quick, that the podcast also goes up on Spotify now,
yes,
and you can rate us and stuff like that.
yes, yeah, we are on iTunes. We're on Spotify. Spotify now allows rating. Please rate us. I think we got something great here. I've never ran an AP for an audience before, so it's fun. So please like, follow, subscribe, all the things. We're up on YouTube.
You just smash that like button.
I am that guy now, and I.
That's how you do it, man.
Hey, yeah, man. Seriously, you gotta hustle. That's the way it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta hustle.
But
Absolutely.
that's all for me. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to get this raid going. Everyone else, I'll tell where you can find me at Hexgrid Heroes on all the social media. I do mostly Starfinder, but I can be cajoled into playing other systems, I guess.
If you have to.
If I have
You
to.
love
But no.
you some Pathfinder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it all. So, yeah, find me on social media. Follow me. Hang out in our Discord. There'll be links. We can talk more about this game. We can talk about other games. But that's me. Pan, how about you?
Hello. Goodbye. I'm Pan. You can find me. You can find me at Stellar on Twitter. And here, of course, on the YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff. You can find me all over. Sorry, it's late here.
So there's, again, the links to the links are usually
down
below.
There, the links
Yeah.
down there. Do the thing.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Oh, and if you have any names for bands that I can throw at people, because what I want to do is I want to get a bunch of art of Gally, but like with different like shirts on. At the moment, I think she's got a shirt for Space.
Cool.
But I'm
Yeah.
just gonna like get different bands. If you have a band or something, you do this in your game or whatever. So I'll put on a shirt. Sure.
Dude, I got you covered.
All right. Done.
Cool.
All right. I'm Jeff, and you can hit me up on Twitter at EPN_Jeff. I also manage the Twitter for Emergency Power Podcast, and that is at Emergency PWR Pod. check out our podcast at emergencypowerpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Carrie. Thank you for joining us. I can be found on Twitter at Carrie Vogrant or at Hit Cookies.
Nice. And I am Adam. You can also find me at Emergency PWRPOD or at The Ashen Arts. Again, look below. There's some underscores in there. Check out the Emergency Power Podcast. We're finishing up our second season here soon, so
You know what?
we
I
do a
just got into
recap
second
every
season.
time.
It's really good. It's a really good show.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it, and we'd love to have more people check it out and get on board. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much for listening to us here.
And I want to thank Paizo for the amazing art AP.
Absolutely. So
all
cool.
of it. Tabletopaudio.com is where most of the music we got this session from, but the music playing now is
Explorers by Hinkick.
Explorers by Hinkick. It didn't
There you
click
go.
over quite quick enough. So yeah.
Foundry, of course. Thank you, Foundry.
Yep, Foundry's been
Foundry.
great to learn. Yep, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. And I kind of have a sign off.
All
I
right,
guess
let's
we'll
go.
see you all on
I haven't
the
seen
next
this yet.
Horizon.
Oh, let's go. I like it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get this raid going.
See you on the next horizon.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, that's
Bye, everyone.
Wait.